Hello. Let's put our gloves on. We're going to do some tattoo nails. Now, I've seen this design because of Nails by J Queen. This is her work. And then she highlighted, it's a fashion house. I'm going to put the picture here. So, she hand painted and stuff, hers. I don't know if you ever looked at any of the stuff that I have on my YouTube, but I'm all about recreations with my trusty airbrush. Why? Because I can't draw. I can't. So we got some airbrush paints here. I'm gonna decide which ones I'm gonna use, because we're gonna have to make like a flesh tone type thing. Okay. I'm explaining it, but I'm not explaining it well. I understand that, and I apologize. We're also gonna need some stamping plates and some of my favorite stamping polishes by Born Pretty. And we're gonna put this all together and give it a complete look. I have two nails here that I have gel polished. I'm using a gelish color here. Now I'll go ahead and put the bottles there so you can see the colors. Cool. Get excited. Let's get started, okay? Okay, so before I get started, so I don't forget, I wanted two kind of flesh tony colors. This one is called Will You Love Me? And this other one is from Gelish as well, and it's called Signature Sound. It's from the Whitney Houston I Wanna Dance collection, which was really fun. And then we have the two tips painted with the color. And so we're gonna play around a little bit with the pinks. So I'm thinking a fuchsia and a little bit of a pink neon. It's gonna give me what I want. Only thing is I got two pink neon bottles, and I need to throw away the one that's old. Now, before I start using my airbrush, I do put a little cleanser in there and just run it through. But just recognize that when you put paint in there, there is going to be a little bit of cleanser that's still left in there. So maybe I'll use my Q-tip and get any little bit out of the cup. This is a side feed. My Iwata HPSB Plus from Japan. I'll link everything that I use below. When I'm doing airbrush, I don't use a ton of paint. We got 3 drops in there, and I'm gonna add a drop of this neon, because what I want is I want a fleshy pink. Oops. So that's 2 neon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a hint of brown. Probably thinking like, why are you doing this? I am mixing a color. Now, if you hold your finger over the tip, you can actually mix it. So, let that brown roll through a little bit. See how I got like a spirally pink kind of brownish hookup? Nothing wrong with that. And that's kind of doing it for me. Let's see, because in the picture it was a little bit that actually works really well. Now, it was really around the edges. It wasn't on the whole nail, right? It kind of looked like it was like skin that got irritated and was healing a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm not gonna make it even. I like that a lot. And a little bit deeper on some edges. But this also goes to show you that you can really create any kind of color mix you want, just with a little bit of practice. All right. So I do have a lot of paint around the interior of the cup, which ordinarily would be fine, but I'm going to do something with some brown, which is going to be more brown. And also, I don't want to have that paint just drying on there. So this is what I typically do, and it's pretty quick. Even if I'm on a client, it's not that big a deal. I just use a little paper towel in there like that and get paint from around, right? And then I'll fold my paper towel and just spray. Because the whole goal is for me to get the paint off the inside of the cup, right? Because I'm probably going to be mixing some other colors, and also I don't want that just drying in there. It takes seconds. And people are like, oh, I don't want to do airbrush because it's going to take so long. And it's like, meanwhile, hand painting designs takes equally as long. So I don't know. So I also have this one called Marcella. It's from the pastels, but I think this might be the empty one. Yes, it is the empty one. So I like this one. I need to order another pastels. We just don't know when I'll be able to order again. And I don't want to take pastels from you all, because I do have a few pastel packs left. So I'm just going to do 2 drops of pink on 1 drop of that brown. I want it to be a little bit darker because, so I'm thinking I'm just going to go for brown. You see how I have this like fleshy type hookup? Because I'm using like a brown skin tone ideal for this one. Just having the actual brown is going to be better than adding like another color. And I'm going to do the same thing. Now what I am doing is I am airbrushing over a matte surface. And I use Koopa matte. It's like my only matte that I like for this. Just because it's matte, but it's more satiny, I guess. It doesn't require any cleansing. It doesn't require any cleansing, so it's a go-to. Cool. So now that we got both of our colors laid out, I'm done. This is empty. That's why I only use 2 or 3 drops, because I don't need a ton. And I think somebody had asked, like, oh, how do you switch in between colors? Very simple, just like I did. If you only use a few or 3, like if I use 3 drops, when I put the next color in, I'd probably put like 4 or 5 drops. That way I can push the other color out if it would be any left. That's all. Cool. So now that I got that rinsed out, let's do the next thing. The next thing is I want to do like a tattoo. Like it would have been tattooed. So I have these 2 stamping plates. One is like a whimsical type hookup. And the other one is more like tattoo kind of designs. So I think I'm going to pull from here and do this hand. I do want it to be gray. That's the only thing. I want it to be gray. Okay, so I did a teensy amount of practice off camera because I wanted to see if I can make gray, which the stamp and polish I bought, I didn't buy a gray, but this is from Born Pretty. I'll link it below. I love their stamp and polishes. We're just gonna do black. Because why not? I guess for that one I could do brown. But I'm just going to do black. And let's see if we can get a good pickup. Which we do. It's just that this is a new plate. I tried to use this plate. But the gag is don't scrape too hard. Just hard enough. Oh, that's a good pickup. Good pickup. And then let me get rid of the other stuff that I don't want. Yeah, that's how you do that. That is exactly how you do that. And then I'm going to put this here. I should have got my bigger stamper because this is like not a big one. Ooh, that came out good. And then what I did do in between was I went ahead and put a nice little matte, another coat of matte on top of my airbrush, just in case I put something down that I didn't like. Right? What if it would have came out terrible? So in order to avoid wiping all the airbrushing off, I went ahead and put a little bit more matte top coat over the whole thing. Now let's talk about layers. When it comes to airbrush, you do seal it in with a gel polish base, with a base coat, right? But when you're doing like a matte, dries matte on both sides, just like a shiny top coat dries, a top coat that is tack free, dry cures shiny on both sides, which is why you'll put a base coat first, then a top coat, right? Because if you do that, it'll sandwich it in and you won't get any chipping. But because it dries or cures, because it cures shiny on both sides, a gel base coat is actually what's holding that top coat onto the nail. Same as if it was like just a gel polish. It has a dispersion layer because that dispersion layer is actually holding that top coat onto the nail, right? So cool. Let's add another tattoo for this guy so he can have two. You know, because if this was the arm, it would probably be two on the arm. I like this, but I also like this little skeleton man. So let's do him. I keep my scraper clean also, because having a clean scraper also affects if you're able to get a good pickup or even a good scrape. There we go. And look at that, he's got two tattoos on his thing. Now, actually, I feel like this should be matte. I do not feel like it should be shiny. Just because it's like skin. I mean, I guess if it was oiled skin, it would be shiny. But I feel like it should be matte. So we're going to matte top coat, and then I'll just show you what it looks like after. The second thing is, let's do our tattoos for essentially the browner skin. Do we want to do black or do we want to do a brown? Let's do a brown and see what the difference is. We got two different kind of browns. We got an orangey brown and a more taupey brown. Shake them up real good. Let's just see what they look like when they pick up. And we already tried that one. I've never used this plate. I got it from probably AliExpress. Definitely not shaking up good enough. Let's see how this will do. And remember, oh, it picks up pretty good. It's skin, so it could technically be, oh, I think I'm gonna love it. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Let me wipe that little bit of extra off right there. I love it. All right, I think this one should also have two essentially tattoos. Let's give her a flower. This one right here looks really good. I think I like the darker one over. The light one's gonna mix too well. I could see the color is like really close. That was way too much. It was way too much because only a certain amount gonna go into those grooves anyway. So that was just being ridiculous. And remember, I already matte top coated this once, so I can go ahead and take off anything I don't like. Oh yeah, that's cool. So let's cure this with our matte top coat on top, and then we'll just do a recap. Okay, so this is how our two tattooed looks came out. This is like, ooh, so nice. And just like a quick little note, you can do so much with airbrush and like not really have to do the whole hand drawing thing. There's so many stamping plates that have like cool designs, tattoo designs. So yeah, let's do a recap. Okay, so the long and short of it is you can use airbrush nail art to do so many things. It doesn't just have to be like simple ombres or raw nails, right? There's always lace you can add. The base color matters. You know, it's just so many options. And so what I hope you do understand basically after watching my channel is that airbrush is super versatile, super easy, and a money maker, right? Now, if you're stuck with airbrush, you're not sure exactly what to do or how to get there, highlight our nails again, then I'm going to suggest that you grab my beginner's airbrush bundle, which comes with the stencils, the stencil saver book, the lace, and 14 lessons on how to get everything done for the low lows. Like, it's under $50. You'll get instant access to the course, and I will mail you the stencils out to your home address. So I will link everything I use below. Stamping plates are our friends. Stamping plates and airbrush go together. Good friends. So, you know, don't forget that. You can use this with that. I do have another video coming up, and it is going to be, I think I'm going to do a chrome look. I don't know. Comment what you want to see. I'm always up for recreation. So if you got somebody that you watched do something and they did it with just paint and hand drawing, hit me up in the deep, like down in the comments, and I can do a recreation. Go down through my videos and look at them, and you'll see like, oh my goodness, this girl does do recreations. Have you seen the pool nails? Pool, like the ball, like you shoot the ball, pool. No? Oh. Cool. I'll tag them. I will, you know, at the end of the video, how they have like a, oh, you should watch this next. I'll make sure that's the one that you should watch next. All right, so that's it for this video. Everything that I use, from the stamping plate to the airbrush polish to the airbrush paints to all of this jazz, will be linked below, so you can grab your goodies from there. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them down in the comments, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about it. Make sure to like the videos. I'll keep putting out more videos. If you're stuck with airbrush though, grab that starter, that beginner course. And they're like, oh, everybody's only trying to sell a course. Yes, because life is not free. It's not. And I mean, I understand it. I'm giving you the game plan. The coach is putting you in. So go ahead and grab that course, and you know, yeah, let's get you rolling. Let's get you rolling, making some coins. Until next time, bye.